Okay, ladies, for this tutorial, we're going to create this mama design right here. And I sent you the file, which is the square that you received. You also received the font, and you've also received the pearl bow. Okay, your backgrounds can be whatever you want them to be. Mine is daisies. I love daisies. I found on Canva these daisy backgrounds that kind of have the same color palette to it, I guess you could say. So we're going to create this exact same design, and this one would be a great one to offer for Mother's Day coming up. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to your gallery. You're going to hit those three dots. I have it saved as hand as regular, but 3000 by 3000 pixels, and your DPI needs to be set at 300. And you're going to open up your images, and you're going to bring over that square that I have sent you, ladies. And what you're going to do is you're going to make sure your snapping is on, and you're going to snap it to each corner like this. You're not going to resize it yet. Once you import it, you're going to duplicate, and you're going to make sure that when you do that, you see all four guidelines. When you put it in place, just like that, you see this one is lined up with this one, as well as the center and across. Okay, so we're going to do that one more time, just like that. So now we have this look right here. Okay, so what you're going to do is we are going to rename them so you know which one you're working with. So this will be the top left. This one right here will be the top right. This one right here will be the bottom left. And bottom right. Okay, so now that we have that renamed and everything, what you're going to do is you're going to start at the bottom with the top left. You're going to add a new layer above it, okay, and you're going to turn that layer into a clipping mask. Okay, so now what you're going to do, and I'm going to scroll through and I'm going to find my images. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring over our reference box and bring in my completed design, because I want to create the exact same thing for this tutorial. Okay, so I'm gonna bring over and search for my images. All right, here they are. And the first one I have up here is this one right here. So I'm gonna bring that over. And you can see it made it big, but you are welcome to use whatever background that you were using, you know, if it comes in big like that, do whatever you want. Keep it big, keep it small, totally up to you. Okay, so now that we have that done, I'm going to group those together like that. I'm going to go to my top right, add a new layer above, turn on the clipping mask, and we're going to do the exact same thing. And I'm going to bring over this background, and I'm going to bring it smaller over here, just like this. Okay, so I have that one done. So I'm going to do the bottom left now, add a new layer, clipping mask, bring over the background I have for this one, which is that one. And you see this one coming smaller, so I'm going to drag it out to where it covers up that square, just like that, and group those together. Come on. I need to clip my fingernails. It's not really wanting to work with my screen. All right, now the last one is, some of them kind of look very similar, so I'll have to zoom in. I think it's this one. Yes, it's this one. Okay. Let's bring that out. All right, let's move this down, and there we go. Okay, so now we have all four of our squares completed. But one thing that, and I will show you right here where I completed it. I have it looking, if you can see the detail of it, I have it looking kind of like crumbled paper, okay? So you also received a brush, and we're going to start with the top left. You also received a Procreate brush that is the DD watercolor paper light. I think I have already sent y'all that one, but it is in the email with this file. So if you have it twice, you can just keep it or delete it. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to make this look like a paper crumble, old type look. Okay, so we're going to use the DD watercolor paper light brush, and what we're going to do is we're going to change our color to white. You're going to go back to your layers. Right above the top left, you're going to add a new layer, and you're going to turn it into a clipping mask. And then all you're going to do is you're going to make sure your brush size is 100%, and you're just going to tap in it. Okay, you see that effect that it gives, but we're going to do a little bit of work with this. Okay, so once you do that, you're going to take and you're going to, let me make sure, I'm trying to remember how I did this for the tutorial. Okay, yes. So I went to subtract, and I lowered my opacity down to 40%. Okay, so over here you have, you know, your ends for normal, and you're going to click on that, and you're going to scroll down to subtract, and then it will look like this, but we're going to bring it down to 40%. Okay, that way it's not too overpowering, but you can see that paper-like look to it. Okay, so we're going to do that with all of these. So you're going to click on your top right, you're going to add a new layer, turn it into a clipping mask, and you're going to do the same thing. Tap in it, and then we're going to take and click on that end. You're going to scroll down to subtract, and then you're going to move the opacity down to 40. Okay, and we have that texture type look in that one as well. All right, bottom left, clipping mask, tap, click on the end, scroll down to subtract, opacity down to 40. Same thing with the bottom right, add a new layer, clipping mask, tap, click on the end, scroll down until we get to subtract, and then you're going to bring the opacity down to 40. Okay, so now we have that rustic textured type paper-like look. Okay, so now what you can do is you can go ahead and group those together. Okay, so we have completed the look of our squares. All right, so next step, what you're going to do is bring in that pearl bow that I have emailed you ladies, but we're going to group these together, and we're going to rename them squares. And then we're going to add a new layer above it, and you're going to bring in that pearl bow. I have to scroll to find mine. Pretty sure I should be going down, maybe. Yes. I'm going to have it closer down here because it is something, there it is. Okay, it is something newer that I've worked with. Okay, so once you bring that pearl bow in, you're going to center it right there in, we're going to bring it out a little bit bigger, right there in the middle of where the four squares meet. That is a little too big, so I'm going to bring it in some, just like that. Okay, so now that we have that in place, let's see, I might move it up just a hair. No, it's good right there. Okay. All right. So now what you're going to do with this bow, because we want this bow to pop. We want it to stand out. So you're going to duplicate your bow. On your duplicate, you're going to hit the magic wand, click on hue, saturation, and brightness. Turn that brightness down. click off, click back on, hit Gaussian blur, and you're gonna blur it up to 5%. And you see how it brought our bow out more? Well, that is what you want. That is exactly what you want. So what we're gonna do is you're going to hit the select tool, and we're gonna bring that shadow down. Let me turn my snapping off. You can turn your snapping off if you want to, that way you can control it. And I just brought it down just a little bit so you can see the shadow poking underneath the pearls here and underneath the pearls going this way. So that's how I like my shadows to look behind my elements. So that turns out really pretty when you add your shadows. Okay, so very next step you're gonna do is you're gonna group the bow, and we're gonna rename this bow and shadow. And then you're going to add your letters, spelling out mama. So you're gonna hit your tool up here, click add text, and you're going to do a capital M. You're gonna click on that M, hit the A over here, and we're going to find the font that we used, that you have received in your emails, which is the Joseph and Sophia, not Josephina. Joseph and Sophia font, and you're going to bring it out to where it is kind of centered in the square. You want to center it as much as you can, because when you have your snapping on, it's not really going to give you that. Well, it will that way, but not across. But to me, I like it better over like that. To me, it looks more centered that way. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that M, and I'm going to bring that M down like so. Okay, just like that. But that M is going to go behind the bow, so we'll get to that in a minute. So sometimes you get an automatic layer pop up, so if you do, you can click on that and add your A. And we're going to try to create it the same size as this one. If you want to, you can duplicate your M, double tap on it, and then change it to an A. It'll already be the same size. But I just do it this way. So I'm going to bring that A down here, just like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my bow and shadow above like that, because I do want it to be above the M and the A. But I'm going to resize it and bring it down just a little bit. I don't want it to be too much smaller. I just want it to be overlapping a little bit, but not too much. I do see that on my M here, it does look a little different than this one, so I need to click on my M and make it a little bigger, as well as this one. So you're just going to play around with it and until you get it exactly how you want it. So I do know that, when I'm trying to recreate a design that I have created for y'all to do in Procreate, I may do something a little different than I did with the first one that I created, and it may have a different type of look to it. So this one obviously is overlapping a little bit more on the M, but that's okay, because regardless, that tail of the bow is going to overlap on top of the A and the M. Okay, so for this one down here, I'm going to make it a little bigger, and this one up here. Okay. All right, that looks good. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to put a shadow behind each letter, okay? Now, as you can see, they are all still editable. Like, you can still edit these. Okay, so we're going to figure out which one this one is, because what I like to do is just go ahead and drop the color. That way it makes it to where it can't be edited. It's easier for me to work with when I'm duplicating. So I'm going to drop the color in each one like that. And what I'm going to do is put a shadow behind each one. So this is my duplicate. You'll duplicate your first M. This is my duplicate. I'm going to turn that brightness down. Click off, click back on, hit Gaussian blur, and I'm going to blur it up to 10%. And you can see how that M has popped out more compared to that one. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing with all of them. And you're going to go ahead and merge those together. And we're going to do the same thing. Gaussian blur, blur up to 10%. Group those together. Duplicate your A. Click on your duplicate. Turn your brightness down. Gaussian blur up to 10%. Not 19, 10%. Okay, and it just brings your letters out more. It makes them pop more. Do it again. Duplicate. Hit your duplicate. Brightness down. Gaussian blur to 10%. Okay. And we're going to group those together. And we can group all of these together now. And you have completed your mama design. Now this would look absolutely gorgeous on a t-shirt, on a tote bag, anything that you want to put it on for Mother's Day, to offer as a Mother's Day gift. I mean, this is a really cute design, and I'm really excited to see you ladies create your design just like this, with the same square, the same bow, the same font. But I cannot wait to see what you use for your backgrounds. That's going to be exciting. So I have sent you all the files, and be sure to post your pictures of your creation on the membership group. And also, if you have any friends that you think would be interested in learning Procreate and Canva, please send them over to me and invite them to join the membership group. I think we have a lot of fun designing. I love to teach you guys, or you ladies, I love to teach you ladies how to create digital artwork. And if there's anything that you see like on Etsy, or you see on Google or Creative Fabrica or anywhere like that, that you're like, I want to learn how to make something like this, send it to me. That way I can say, okay, well, let me see what I can do, and we'll do a tutorial with it if we can. So anyway, so make sure you ladies post your images on the membership group, and I can't wait to see them.